Right, here we are. I really hope things are showing up on the screen right now, because if they're not, I don't know how to fix them. Thank you for the donation, CBT. I will turn that back on. Right, yes. Hello, everyone. We're back with more of the same. Yes. Right. For those of you who weren't here with me last left off, here we are. I need to hold this one. We are at the final, well, not really the final stretch, but we are close to the final, well, no, I would say this is the final stretch in terms of challenge of the game. The beginning of the end, if you will. This is the beginning of the end. Thank you for the donation, Tony. I'm afraid not. Not yet.
Tony_the_4 added $9.99 to the Lunacy Fund. So have we won yet?
Yes, here we are. I do like this glitch, it's rather funny. Why does she become untargetable? This is my question. If this is a, like, I understand this is a glitch, but why does this happen? Because right now the... Oh, yeah, okay. I will change it to final stretch for you. There you are. It has changed. Why is Angela not dead? This is a common bug. Well, not common, but it's a bug in the game. It just, yeah. It's a mechanic you thought? I don't believe it's intentional. From memory, it is not intentional. It is, however, rather funny. Is that the Nameless Deity? Yep, that is. We are already playing a Nameless Deity song. Because I don't know a single original song, it seems, so we are continually playing this one. Did we just tie twice? We may need to clash more attacks. Oh, no, we already leveled up because everyone died. Yeah, that'll do it. If all attacks connect, well, I would prefer they don't, actually. Could we not do that, perhaps? Let's see if we can not do that. How we do with the admin pages? We will be using Angela for the next ones. It's just that for now, we need to use one. This is the only one that isn't doable with Angela. I believe. Mass summation, lovely. Angela's the target. Yeah, well, we don't really care about that. I want to quickly do this, and then we can get... They'll die, so it all depends on what we want to do. I think we do that. Oh. Never mind. Hopefully that gives me enough light. It does not give me enough light. Well, damn. This is the point where we die. Unless... Yeah, this is the point where we die. We need a way to win all of these. Yeah, not get hit by any of them, because otherwise we just flat out stagger. But the idea is, why don't you use Angela here? We can't use Angela here because she doesn't deal enough damage. She just flat out dies. It is impossible for her to win here. Oh, we somehow didn't die there. Okay. Let's get strength. You don't think it's soloable? Oh, no, it's soloable. It's soloable. It distinctly is. It's a little bit tough to do, but it distinctly is soloable. Right. This, sadly, we didn't get the thing we were building for off in time, so I think we die here, potentially. We can win against most of these, but there's just one that will go unopposed. Wait, I just realized... no, it wouldn't have worked. Hello, Renatar, welcome to the stream. Yeah, because this staggers us here, which is annoying, because if we'd had the build that I was going for, which is not that, I guess we grab that. Oh, we may not be dead yet. Good to be here for the ending segment? Yeah, I hope the ending segment comes quickly. That would be nice. Let's go Endurance and hope these work out. Because we're going to have to do this. Depression is just not going to work against anything, so let's... Hey, how about I give you Depression, Angela? How about I give you Depression? What are you going to do then? Oh, that Laceration wasn't clashing. Uh-oh. The strategy is there, though. This will likely work. Yeah, I am stronger than you, Angela. I think she's immune to immobilization. No, she's not, huh. Strange. That is a... Oh. Could I have one of my actual pages now? No? Okay. Okay, let's just... that on you. That wins against you, at which point I then have... Let's have some fun against... No, you. And then I kind of just have to hit you with a Depression and hope it works out. Wow, I was... Okay. Somehow we are not yet dead. Do we stagger here? No. Maybe not? Oh, we get staggered. Damn. Hopefully we're still fine here. I forgot that there's just a chance that damage deals nothing to us. I did forget about that. Like, there's a chance we just farm this. We did not. Bad if you said the bloodbath phase alone took you like 3 days? No, I think that's fair. See, okay, to explain, I need to, hold on, just quickly explain what I'm looking for, by the way. I'm looking to get this. So technically what we need to do is lose clashes to begin with. Or we just don't clash to begin with. And then we will get those 2 cards. Because we want Curiosity and Lies. The music lined up really well for that, yeah. I do like it when that does. Budget Shimmering, yep, that is the idea. Okay, the start of this, by the way, I am using Maxmin for because it is mathematically feasible to have Angela die each time, but it would result in us waiting for like 10 attempts each time. And I would rather not have 10 attempts per attempt, really. So, we will be doing this. If you have any problems with that, please direct it to the fact that the dice hate me. The fact that this is soloable alone is already pretty impressive, in my opinion. Anyway, yeah, there's Angela dead. Except not really, because the game is great. Wow, that was just about the worst start we could have gotten. I take it back, that is probably the worst start we could have gotten. Because this means we're going to get a bunch of positive emotion, which is going to be a nightmare to, like, get rid of. I'm not holding Maxmin here, by the way, it is purely for the start. Okay, actually, if they die, then that means... If they die, we're good. No. We reset. Then you view Angela use the Riga pages to win the realization, yeah, phase 2, 3, 4, and 5. Stuff like Angela did waiting for those attempts for that min-max, yeah! You want to manage to not take damage for the Librarian Storm? That's cool. It's not what we're going for, but it's quite cool. Manage that. What we want to do is die. Does this the realization apply with the same rules as ONE Librarian? Yeah. I'm not using Angela. It's just that each realization stage is its own stage. So it's not that I'm only using one Librarian each stage. And first use an assistant. Yep. Precisely how it works. I reckon we take that hit. Just so we don't gain any positive light. I understand I didn't use trigrams. I probably should have used, like, card draw or something, but oh well. There we are. There's our negative. Technically, we get negative regardless if somebody dies, but shh. Stop applying facts and logic. How did we get all positive? Huh? Huh? All negative. There is a tier 1 negative, yeah. Like... Okay. Sure. Guess I'm not doing that then. I don't think this even works here, because we're gonna get staggered unless we do like that. And yeah, okay, well that should work, hopefully. Think about it, you can use the cheating mod, so true. The 2-1, nope, they're emotion level 1. Otherwise I wouldn't care, I would just attack. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah, they are both level 1. Lies and Curiosity. So how do I get those otherwise then? If all of these pop up first? Why did the positive emotion ones pop up before the negative if you've got all negative? I genuinely, I don't understand. Huh? Also, yeah, sorry chat about the flashbang every time we go to do an attempt. Also, you really find out the fact that there's a delay to stop you from spamming space here. So I guess budget shimmering doesn't work. Just based on the fact that it's impossible to get to negative for some reason here. Not like false breakdown, try going positive. I'll try. Wait, no, I can't. I will, unless I get incredibly unlucky, I will never be able to get that. And you might say, oh, but don't you want to... Yeah, but the problem is the fact that unlucky for me is all of these targeting me. But because they'll always die, I don't think it works out for us. But then again, I could be wrong. Let's try this. And then, yeah, okay. Laceration wins. Great. Just don't kill. Okay. Just don't kill. Ow. That's fine, actually. You can target me all you like. Because now, I don't get a light up because there's only one of me. Yeah, I mean, I don't get an emotion level up because there's only one of me. Okay, well here... I think I go just you, because then I can... I don't know. If I hit you with a... Can I get rid of depression? I don't think there's any way to safely get rid of depression here. That's a hell of a line. Okay, let's also chuck one of these out, just there to... Yeah, okay. Strat so far is to try and get budget shimmering. That is the strat. Okay, that worked. Okay, we have a little bit of positive now, at least. And hopefully the little bit of positive works. Wow, we are close to stagger because of that. And it didn't work again! I actually don't understand. Okay, then at least we get lies. Sure, we probably need some page draw then, but like at least we get lies. Because what that means is I can at least, at the very... Oh, I get... Yeah, I'll take 2 Zerikos. I will take 2 Zerikos. Okay. Right. What? Oh, huh? Did you just decide to lock in there for a second, Angela? Okay. Yeah, restore 1 light, sure. Who do you want to go up against? You? Okay. And then you... I mean, I'll do depression against you and just hope I don't stagger there. Great. Great. This should work. Great. Here we are. Maybe the first Avno page is set for this realization? Maybe? I would hope not, but this is a terrible idea, by the way. And we don't want this. So we are just kind of locked into getting that. How am I Oh. 3 depressions. Lovely. Right.
그동안 느낀 억울함과 분노 그리고 슬픔을 너희
What song should we have? Picayune OST? Yeah, we could have some Picayune OST. Okay. Let's go for... I can't actually remember this theme. Is this any good? There we go. Occultation from Picayune Dreams. Yes. We just wait for the first phase. Lovely. I have 3 depressions. At that moment in time, I did, yes. I remember. Yeah, I know this song. It's a good one. I should play more Picayune Dreams on stream sometime. Because Picayune Dreams is really fun. How often can you explain how distortion works? I'm not really a grandpa, but I can explain how distortion works. It's effectively giving into the shadow. That is the idea of what it is. And yeah, the idea is, in effect, it's giving into your inner demons, so to speak, and that causes you... It's giving into the part of you that believes that all the worst aspects of you are what's right. And that, you know, you should just, you know, indulge in whatever you want to, because, you know... Why do I keep saying you know? Because it makes no difference to the world if you do or don't. It's not necessarily the easy route. I mean, it is generally easier, but it's... Calling it the easy route alone doesn't capture the full breadth of it, in my opinion. No point flashing here, by the way. Other than to deal more damage, which we don't need to do. I should have used trigrams, but oh well. Pulling giving into your demons isn't really accurate either. No, it's giving into the shadow. That is what it is. So it is accurate to say it's giving into your demons. It's the voice inside your head that tells you that, yeah, all the worst aspects of yourself were right and you should just, you know, give in. And I need to stop saying, you know. Right. 2 lacerations. That was a endurance. I mean, I may as well. I could do that. Honestly, it's something to spend light on, isn't it? Part of distortion involves the white woman talking to you. So that's... So basically, the shadow doesn't need to be produced from you. In normal Jungian psychology, yes, it does. But in the city, you know, the shadow is provided for you, in the form of either Angela or anyone else, really. Anybody can be a shadow. It just so happens that Carmen is the most prevalent in the city. Also, you've got to be kidding me, really? Is there any way to get undepressed? No, we are dead from that. How did we survive the other time? I genuinely, I'm not sure how we managed to get past that before. Anyways, the way that we don't die here is project moon coding. It is a case of we simply don't care about Angela. You have to stop saying that. Where's the therapy card when you need it? So true. Yeah, no, I'm not sure exactly how we avoided it last time. Who needs antidepressants precisely? Because it just lowers our maximum stag resist, so... Anyway, yeah, that's It's just a bug, and it's great, because it means we don't have to care about things. Let's grab strength. Would immediate repairs help? No. We're getting a stagger lowered by 34% each time, so it actually just goes down to, you know... And stop saying you know. It goes down to, what? Minus 102 point... minus 102%. It's not that you can manifest ego without overcoming your insecurities or flaws. You can't... You shouldn't be able to. However, blame Limbus Company for not knowing how their own system works. Limbus Company is the worst thing to happen to that system, like, ever. And it's so annoying because it's my favorite system in the game, and they just don't understand how... They don't understand how their own system works. It genuinely makes no sense. But yeah. In theory, you should have to overcome your own insecurities, and, you know, overcome the voice within you. In theory. However, because the game likes playing fast and loose with its own logic, that's not really how it works. Let's draw one page here. Distorting is letting your flaws overcome yourself, and manifesting is pushing past your flaws to accept yourself. Yeah, kind of. I think that's a good way of putting it. So, wow, we're low on stagger there. Am I so out of touch now? It's the storyteller's look. Look at Distortion in Ruina and look at the stuff it's based on. You can see the way that Distortion and Ego is supposed to go, and you can see what it's designed on, and then look at Maya's, which is just idiotic. There is a point where the author doesn't know what they're doing with their own system, and that is what has happened. So it's on use, add a copy of Depression to target's hand. Is there any way we can avoid being targeted? You know what I think it was? It was probably the other negative page. The other negative page discarded it from our hand, so we didn't have to deal with the full brunt of the, like, problem at first, which allowed us to get past it. I think that might be what happened there. Which means we can't actually get this. Which is a shame. Oh, wow, that was great. Thank you, game. Because now we get staggered, and I don't think we come back from it. Let's see. If we survive this and we can come back from it, then I'll be happy to see it, but I think we need the other thing. Also, wow, when the 0% doesn't... When the... Yeah, no, okay. Maya's supposed to look similar to Seafarer from Arknights. I don't care how she looks. She's just incorrect in how she works. Zhao mass attacks? Not worth it, I don't think. I mean, we could, but I think it's easier to just keep going and get the other thing. Why do I have beef with Maya's Distortion? Because it was so wrong. Everything about it was incorrect. Maya's didn't... For a start, if her ideals were that strong that she didn't need to be challenged by a shadow to manifest them, which isn't how that's supposed to work, by the way, then why immediately upon Carmen going, nah, you're wrong, and she go, yeah, you're right, and immediately distort? That's not how that works. Ego doesn't manifest from just like a passing thing. Maya's disorder because she gave her own ideas, allowing everyone to live their own path and decided to give up on that and instead force her own path on others. But it's fucking stupid how she did it! That's not how it works. You don't manifest from a passing fancy. Manifestation is a real hard thing to do, because otherwise everyone in the city would manifest. Or distort. It's just not how it works. Like, my gripe with it is it makes no sense within the established system. I'm fine with them taking their own style. Well, no, I'm not. Also, the rest of the characters. I just don't like the collab. I don't think the collab was good in the slightest. If that's all it took, Pete would have manifested 5 minutes of run up. Precisely. Precisely. That is precise. Like, everyone we see in these things would be manifesting or distorting. That's just... Giving up is not equating to having a long-time hardcore release instantly destroyed in an instant. Entirely destroyed in an instant. Yes, but the point is, you only begin to manifest when you've resolutely fixed your mind on your goal. It is basically impossible to go from manifestation to distortion without somebody very persistent there to stop you. We have only ever seen one case of it, I believe, unless somebody wants to correct me on partial manifestation going badly, and that was Philip. Yeah, oh, you're agreeing with me. Yeah, thank you, yes, yeah. It's like... Yeah. Just... It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So that's why I say they got their own system wrong. Because they did get their own system wrong. And that's what annoys me, because it's my favorite system in the entire universe. You cannot distort once you manifest your ego fully. No. She didn't manifest her ego fully, so that's not a mark against it. But Ringiath and Leviathan, did they begin to manifest? I thought they distorted and then distorted into an abnormality. Because from memory, does he... Dong actually goes from distorting to manifesting. There's a difference between going from distorting to manifesting. But for a start, we're in his Fathoms of Ego, so we're actually just directly beating up. And what's happening is, when we're in the Fathoms of his ego, we're actually allowing him to reconfront Carmen. Also, yeah, no, I'm fairly certain the Maestro in Distortion Detective distorts and then distorts harder. They don't manifest from memory. Unless I'm horribly mistaken on that front. They did just double distort? Thank you. Yes. Which, unless somebody wants to correct me, is not manifesting. So that's why I should tell them to abno. The point is with abnormalities is they're sort of like a really refined point of, like, it's a sliding scale, basically, and abnormalities are driven from the root of the human mind. As in, Kagito brings out basically the root humanity. And if you distort hard enough, you turn into one. Collective consciousness, yes, they are figments from collective consciousness. Why are we not getting that one page we need? How did we get it before? Abnormalities are just the extracted forms of certain concepts from the human collective consciousness. Depending on the abnormality, yes. Depending on it, yes. Because the birds, as well as being that, were supposed to have actually existed as well. How on earth do we... Also, wow, we got unlucky here. Do we need the endurance one and then we use true trigram? Is that what we do here? You know what this guy's beef is? What? Who, me? Solution is, this is who I am, I can never change, so I should just accept myself. Manifesting is, this is who I am, but I believe I can change for the better. Yeah. Basically. That's the idea. It's confronting your shadow and making the realization that you don't want to give in to your core desires. It's not necessarily resolving to be better, it's just, it's tempering desire with reason, yes. But a lot of the time, at least in Ruina, you see that what tempers the desire is the resolve to do better. And if that resolve to do better fails, then somebody ends up distorting. But that's only from partial manifestation. It's a funky thing. Well, because of it funky, because every abnormality there is distortion? No. No. The abnormalities in LobCorp are abnormalities. Abnormalities are separate. Well, they're not separate from distortion, but they weren't distortions. Also, yes, possibility from Distortion to Manifesting, that's Dongring. Dongring did that. You just need a way to get them out of the hands of the Shadow, which we do in Limbus Company a weird way by going into their, like, core subconscious. We then beat the hell out of them, which causes them to reevaluate their life choices, and then they resolve to be better. Is there... It's definitely the 3 depressions doing it. You got hit by the mass attack in the attempt, which might somehow cause it. Gives you depression before you get 3. What I think happened was we had curiosity somehow. I don't know how we got that, but Peter just skipped out the distortion phase and just directly ripped out the idea. Bingo. Kagito doesn't distort things. Played the tabletop, Project Moon tabletop and someone distorted just because their dad dies and you're so pissed that's not how fucking distortion works. Yeah, no. Unless your entire idea of life was built up on the idea of your dad being this immortal paragon and them dying, and like if your father was viewed as a god in your mind and that justified in like the entirety of your acts, them dying would shake you, and then if you had a shadow capitalize on that and go, well, then just do what you like. Really? If following that beacon was wrong, and you know, obviously it was because they're dead now, you may as well just do what you like because nothing has any purpose. And if you give in to that shadow, then you just stop. But if you go, no, the core understand, or it's not necessarily being better, but the best way to do it from Ruina would be, no, just because my paragon has died doesn't mean that necessarily I have to give up on their acts, or just because they've died doesn't mean that there isn't a right answer to follow. There isn't that resolve in the self, rather than giving into, you know, chaos. Said you know again. That is what leads to manifestation. So what the hell was the Wild Hunt? The Wild Hunt is a weird thing to do. He's a person who became aware of mirror worlds and then resolved to kill everyone. He's weird. I think partially ego just come from them. It's just the same as Efflorest. I don't know. I think Efflorest is just supposed to be normal ego, and partial ego is just no longer really a step, but still. Also, yeah, how do we get curiosity? Because us getting curiosity is what allowed us to move past at that time, I think. Because at the start of seeing truffle all pages into draw pile and draw 4 pages, I think it was us drawing this, having this card that allowed us to not pull all 3. And by not pulling all 3, we just didn't die. So is there anything that does discard on, like, other turns? No. Nothing there, and I'm presuming... Discard next turn would be such a weird thing to have. On use... Hold. It's something like it could work if you spent your entire life protecting your family. Yeah. If your entire worldview was built around protecting your family, and then they died without your help... I mean, even then, it's not guaranteed to lead to a distortion. It's not guaranteed to lead to a distortion, because the point is you still need heightened emotions to do it. Because otherwise, Callie would... well, shadows are weird. With Carmen in the city now, the shadow is easier to come about. By forgetting distortions are handpicked by Carmen, they're not. She just looks at somebody who's having a bad day and goes, yes, you. She's not really handpicking anyone, she's just looking at people and being a shadow. Shinamang. Shinamang, we're not quite sure, but I believe they are budget light. It's effectively... God. Leviathan does talk about it more, but it's weird. And, yeah. is a distortion that wasn't lulled by Carmen. Not that we know of, but Carmen isn't necessary, because, once again, Carmen only plays the role of the shadow. Carmen is not necessary for distortion or manifestation, it's simply that she is the most handy shadow, because, yeah. That's why. Yeah, Shin and Mang, as far as I'm aware, are weird things done with the light. Yeah. Okay, everyone could already distort... There's no distortion... There's no distortion that Carmen hasn't touched. Yeah, but there was a potential distortion that could have happened. Callie was someone who could have distorted. There's... Okay, I need to bring this up because for some reason people can't read. Callie, it wasn't nothing there that caused Callie's manifestation. Callie prompted the ideas within Gebra's own mind and kept within Callie's mind and kept egging her on, serving as a rudimentary shadow, which allowed her to confront her inner dark thoughts and temper them with reason, and therefore manifest an ego. She wasn't a corrosion, she was a potential distortion. It has nothing to do with corrosion. Nothing to do with corrosion. Corrosion is very different. You can see in her page specifically, she's not corroding. It's her own thoughts that it reflects. Are shadows mentioned elsewhere? I'll show you where shadows are mentioned elsewhere. Go read it. This is it. This is manifestation and distortion. This is it. Go read it. This is it. It's Jungian psychology. This is the shadow. This is manifestation and distortion. This is it. Go read it. This is how it works. The shadow is a term I use because that's what Jung uses. It's somewhere around here. We've seen specifically that KJH himself has referenced it's taken from Jung. Anyway, that's why I use shadow, because that's what the base material uses. All Carmen does is be a sledgehammer to break a wall, allowing you to face... No, she is the shadow. She is the shadow. It's... Yes, okay. Karen, yes. Karen? I think I pronounced your name wrong. Manifesting and distorting were always a thing in Project Moon, but after light shenanigans and Carmen being in the light now doing shenanigans, it's easier to manifest distort. Yes. Thank you. There were always distortions and manifestation. There was always distortion and manifestation in the city. It was just really rare because it's hard to find a shadow to actually do it. That's why Callie was one of the only very few people. It's also emotions were less heightened. But that's why you don't see it happen all that much. It was just extremely rare, yes. It's, I believe, blood fiends. It's theorized that the mansion where blood fiends originated from was something to do with a distortion. It's also considered shadow. Yes, thank you. You brought up another shadow. Yes, Oswald is a shadow. Oswald, because he brings up Philip's inner desires as a way to cause him to doubt. Oswald takes the part of a shadow for part of Philip's distortion. That's precisely why. Thank you. Think about it, there's a chance there's magic. There is magic in the city, it's just in the outskirts. Pluto himself talks about it. It's debatable whether magic is real magic or it's just tech that's sufficiently advanced that nobody knows how it works. Callie was directly exposed to the light via prototype ego gear. That's no. The light is very different. The light is a collection of it's a collection of enkephalin, but the light itself is actually derived from the Sephira resolving to be better humans. It wasn't the next chapter about protein synthesis. Do we think we'll ever see Catherine being used as a shadow? That would be an interesting twist, but I'm not sure if it's something that Project Men would do. I would like to see that happen, though. I think that'd be really interesting as a way to... Well, I think the problem is... Technically, the deletal Kathy, if she'd been more focused on getting Heathcliff to kill themselves, would have serve the purpose of a shadow, could have served the purpose of a shadow. Is Pluto magic from the same area where the magic and the magical girls? I don't think so. The magical girls aren't real magical girls. They're abnormalities who are in the guise of magical girls. Pluto's magic is just actually magic. It's... I think it is... yeah. I think... It's a bit of an interesting one, because magic in the city is less a case of... Magic in the city follows the idea of any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So, really, you can look at anything and call it magic if you do want to. But yeah. We are about to get staggered here. Which is fine. Provided we don't... Yeah, why do we keep getting lies? I don't want lies anymore. I want the other one. Why are we getting positive emotion, actually? That's a question. Anyway, to actually bring up shadows, by the way. Shadows themselves do exist in, like... The idea of shadows is a real thing that exists. The idea of a shadow is that everyone in the world has a shadow. It's just that most of the time, people don't give in to them entirely, and it's just sort of... If you've ever had a voice inside you telling you to indulge in yourself in a way that would be self-destructive to others, Jung argues that's your shadow. But full capitulation to the shadow is more of a thing that's done in private, Jung argues. Jung argues that giving into the shadow, the ultimate final capitulation to the shadow, isn't something that happens publicly. It's not on display for all. By the way, also, discarding all lab pages is what saved us there. It does mean we're about to get staggered and die here, which means it might be better to have bottom deal there. Because that means we have a way to come back from that. Shin is just shimmering? I don't think so. Shin is a... Yeah. So it's not a shadow, because he's pointing out, but he's literally a fully designed 100% guy. He's id, and that's why he looks like that. A clown or world created by normally. Yeah. Not only, yeah. Sorry, hold on. Something I know. What happened to the world before the city? Well, there's a batshit insane theory that states that it's the moon, but I tend to laugh at people who say that, so, you know, come up with your own idea. Because it makes no sense. We see the moon in Canto 6. It's a funny theory, but, like, anybody who seriously argues it probably needs to get themselves checked out. Would Call of the Void be considered part of the Shadow? No. Call of the Void isn't necessarily... Call of the Void isn't giving into your desires. It's simply... It's... I don't actually quite know why Call of the Void exists, but it's just a natural human thing that we think about killing ourselves sometimes. I can't remember why it happens, but it's not part of the Shadow, because the Shadow itself is more self-serving for Jung. How large is the city? It's about the size of Czechoslovakia. If you... From when I last did the maths, it's about the size of Czechoslovakia. Could Arcana and magic be connected in some way? I think the magic in the city is something we don't really know enough about for me to make a comment on. Yeah. Post-apocalyptic way in the future? I think that's probably the way I would believe in it too. That's what makes the most sense to me, for it to be an apocalyptic Earth. Hey. Isn't the city the size of Poland? No, smaller. What is the size of South Korea? It's about 64,000 kilometers squared. Is it called the ID in Jung's psychology? He calls the capitulation to the shadow as the ultimate evil for Jung. He does call it the shadow. Wales and U-Corp are born from? I'm honestly not sure. I'm sure it's something suitably horrific, but I honestly don't know what it could be. let's do you there. We need more lore about the city as a whole. I would love that, honestly. It would be really cool to see. Singer is basically just magic since they violate all the laws of science anyway. And from what we know, Limbus Singers are born from Wish on a Star. That is, I would argue that's one particular singularity. I think it's wrong to argue that every singularity works the way one does. Anyway, somehow we got Curiosity there. I don't know how we did. Also, thank you for the donation, Zol. I take it you want that back. There we are. Okay. Let's go here. I would like... I mean, I will just use the light one because there's nothing else I really want to use here. Right. Oh. Decorp is alluded to possibly. Oh, interesting. It's more so, I knew about the K-Corp one, but I didn't know if there was any others that were actually, like, explicitly stated to be. Musician of Bremen. They did apparently distort from multiple beings, but I'm not quite sure how they managed that, to be honest. I don't think they should have been able to, but they did regardless, so I don't think they care about what I think is possible, so, you know. Also, we're getting staggered here regardless of what we do. Ah, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, it worked out badly, so we just get staggered there anyway. Okay, great. How many zeros can we get? Yeah, we're dead here. I don't know how we get Curiosity sometimes and not others. Distortion Detective explains multiple people distorting into one. Oh, that's cool. How about any plot hole with Golden Bow did that? True. I don't like the Golden Bows. How do the Golden Bows work? They're supposed to be a fragment of the technology that led to a company working. Why do they have the power to grant wishes and affect reality across multiple timelines? Like, huh? Just doesn't make any sense. This coming over your shadow really nicely. Do you think you can pick what you distort into? I think what you distort into is already founded by your deepest desires. That's the point of... Well, it's based on what your darkest view on yourself is, or how... If you had a certain vision of yourself that you truly believed whilst distorting, they already would make you that, because that's what distortion is. Aren't Golden Bows supposed to be the light? I don't think so, but I believe we're told specifically that they're supposed to be fragments of the technology. But still. Anyway. I could always be wrong. It's very easy for me to be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Also, strength. Ow. Ow. We managed to lose both of those, bro. They're a part of the light? I don't think they did, but I could be wrong. Fragments of what technology? Lobcorp singularity, yeah. I'm fairly certain they say during the intro that it's a fragment of L-Corp's singularity, and that's why they want it. And then we get told later, hey, actually, these things we're collecting have the power to grant wishes. You know. Because that's cool. Definitely wouldn't have been useful knowledge to have at first or anything. How did we not win a single one? It's a... Oh, we're not technically dead yet. Also, we got Curiosity there. I think it is just random chance on whether you get Lies or Curiosity, and we kind of just, most of the time, have to hope for Curiosity, because that keeps us from... No, we don't actually want Curiosity, because Curiosity kills us. Fittingly enough, Curiosity kills. Okay, and we want Sharp Nails on you. Right. We don't want Kazuna. Do we have Kazuna? The fact that we have 3 strength here would suggest we don't have... Oh, did somebody say... Nobody. Yeah, no, we don't want Kazuna, I don't think. If we had to see any different shadows, we do think they would be using logic. Ooh. I mean, the fact that Maso has already talked about Carmen being the sun makes me think that we're not going to get anything unique out of him. But if it wasn't for that, I would have said maybe his mother. Because his mother does play quite a key role in his story, but the fact that we already know Carmen is his shadow, just, yeah, that removes the chance of that. Ow. Lovely. Why Sharp Nails? It's a good counter page. The plot holes in the story and ever ventilation. Let's get fervent beats. This run is dead. Oh. Hey, maybe we don't die. The other thing that in the sun may be a distortion case solved by the distortion detectives. Oh, that's interesting, actually. Would I rather live in the Project Moon City or live in Birmingham? You know, your quality of life may be higher in the city somehow. Yeah. Why do I think that Dante has connections to the patron librarian / Sephiroth? I mean, if the golden bows were connected to the light somehow, then that would make sense. Yeah. You've been to Birmingham, I would take the city any day. Birmingham's not too bad, you know. It's quite easy to get out of it. That's a marker for it over the city. I once went to a... Because I was checking out, like, once Birmingham unis, because, like, there's some decent Birmingham unis, like, Tolkien went to one. Like, Tolkien taught at one, so, you know, there's some decent ones. And the head administrator of the place themselves said, you know, it's, the best thing to do in Birmingham is to leave. Which, brutally honest, I gotta commend them for it, but, like, when you're the person giving the talk on why you should come to Birmingham, maybe don't say the best thing to do in Birmingham is to not be in Birmingham. It's an interesting strategy. Did we, no, we used the right things. That worked well. Min-max is not on, no. Any theories on Roche's Kanto? Kanto? Okay. The most crackpot theory I have about Ryoshu's, hold on, let me just look up. It would be Kanto, we're on 9 now, right? Kanto 9, Limbus Company, Teaser. My most crackpot theory, I'd like the image if I could. We're gonna get a, Kill Bill reference. That's my most crackpot theory. We're going to get a Kill Bill reference. Because if you look at this... just quickly, hold on, let me zoom in. this is a wedding dress. And the massive themes of, you know, like, once again, like, you've got Lei Heng as, like, a Westerner, but, yeah, no, like, a very Western guy. The whole thing feels like a Kill Bill reference. And the fact that we've got, before the story even starts, one of them is already dead. And I think the entire house lead up, like, the whole child thing, Unsheath Yoshihide, which is... I'm not sure if Yoshihide is a special sword, but if it is related to that sword maker, I genuinely think it might be a Kill Bill reference. But yeah. Anyway, that's my one crackpot theory about Ryoshu, is that it's a Kill Bill reference. Anyway. Music back. It would be really cool if it was. It would be really cool. Does Hellscream fit Kill Bill? Kind of. They're both very family-focused. They are both very family-focused. Because the idea of Kill Bill is getting revenge... I would say not really, but the fact of the matter is, like, the Wild Hunt and Wuthering Heights weren't very related, but they were made related. I would say it's the similar themes that will make it like that, but yeah. I mean, okay, I do have another crackpot theory, and that it's Ryoshu in some way was related to the Red Mist. As in, trained by, or something along those lines. Thank you, Zeal, for the donation. Like, not necessarily blood relation, but in some way taught. Okay, Spider's Flood story ends with the thread being cut and nobody making out. Interesting. Dead Galia shared an image. Put up this image. No. I'm not going to do that, Argalia, I'm afraid. The screen is... 2 images is a good... If you want me to swap out your image, I will, Argalia. But otherwise, no more commanding me from the light, I'm afraid. I will not be listening. Let's get rid of the depression. This way we get at least, get rid of at least one chance. One chance? The one chance is real? Okay. Could have been saved by the Red Mist and turned to a fan like Mayo. True. See, okay, I'm gonna pull out the reason why I think they have something to do with each other. I need to go for Limbus Company, and it's the fact that she has... Replace it then? Okay, one moment, Argalia. If I quickly go, I want to bring up ego and identities. So, you've got the fact that the Red Eyes things are literally just greater split vertical and horizontal. And they all focus on speed. Well, it's the inverse of the way that the strongest works, but yeah, the animation itself, I believe, no, this is just when you get it, okay, I need to say the reason why the reason why I believe that these, and also the fact that, where is it? You. We see here, Carmen talks about the fact that her fighting style reminds her of someone. Her style reminds me of a certain someone. Yes, the one who shielded me then, she who spoke of the pain in the back streets. Now, the reason why, alone you can just go, oh, this is the Gebera reference. You know, this is the Gebera reference. Of course it's going to be. But there's something. Do you see... Hold on, I need to find her... Where's the attack? Does it show her attack? I need to... Hold on. That would be Ryoshu, Contempt, or Attack animations. Thank you for whoever this is. I may be copying your video now. I want to show you something. Now... Yeah, it's finally gotten to you right before the game was done. No, like, okay, look at this, hold on. Where is your animation? Where? Oh, this is the... Is this the ego, not the... Oh, this is... Is it? Yeah, this is the ego. I meant the... Hold on. Where is it? Oh well, hold on. I know somebody sent me an image. Somebody sent me an image of something which is relevant for this, and I can just find the point where they sent the image. One moment. Has image... One moment. Just have to search through the images with them. It is... Hold on. There are a lot of images. One moment. Here we are. Look at this. Now, may I bring up Lei Heng attack animations? I mean, I'm. Hold on. Let's just go Lei Heng sprites. Hold on. Where's enemy attacks? I need specifically. Okay. Just to... Okay, they actually sent the other image here. These two, when she goes to do this move, she actually does... She does the move. Now, the reason why I think that's relevant is because it's clear sign that she's taking inspiration from somebody who she's had, like, at least partial relation to in the background, in the past. Which means, if she took inspiration in her technique from Lei Heng here, why could she have not taken inspiration in her technique here? That's the argument I have for that crackpot theory. That she has something to do with the Red Mist is the fact that we already have evidence to do with her taking inspiration from someone. She already takes inspiration from Lei Heng with this idea. So I believe that these... And backed up by this specific line, by the because Carmen doesn't actually know. Gebera isn't Carmen. Gebera isn't Carmen. They're distinct people according to their own thing. Because then you have so it's the fact that Carmen says, here we are. It's the fact that her style reminds me of Southern Someone. Yes, the one who showed me then she who spoke of the pain in the backstreets. It's. Then again, I guess she is talking about she is talking about Kali's experience using other ego gear, but the point is more so, I think that, yeah, no, I think she has some sort of relationship with Kali. But anyway, crackpot theory time over. LFD doing with people's story at this point with Garen showing up? Yeah, true actually. We are getting some pretty crazy things now. Okay, I need a lot of the 0% to succeed here, or else we are just kind of dead. Yeah, okay, we need the other one. Now that we've started drawing the discard, I don't want the discard anymore. You feel like sides... Look at the animation of the two. They are distinctly the greater split animations. And the fact that... Yeah, it's... So... We'll see as soon as the thing comes out, but still. They are very distinctly horizontal and vertical. And they have the same design as them. But yeah. Thematically, you think Rodian is most fitting for the Red Mist. Protecting a no, that's fair, but I think Dawn is also fitting thematically for Red Mist. But I think Ryoshu has the most links, narratively, for the Red Mist. And I mean, I could be proven wrong here. Once again, we'll find out in however many days it is. But, so. She'll also get the Gebra Seed of Light Ability. That is true. That is another bit. You haven't played Archive previously, you went horribly just joining. Why didn't you play Limbus game on Roblox? I mean, I could. Oh, wow, we've already got multiple depressions. I think this is the... I think we just restart here. I don't think it's worth fighting this one out. We'll see. Because we have 2 depressions already here now, which is problematic for us. We have 3. That's just death, right? There's no way to come back from that. You have to place the image. That I did, that I did. Yeah, we're just staggered. Okay, that's a restart. One moment. Let me replace the image. You. You. That was a rather large image. There we go. Rescale. Dom will get a first kindred ID. That's... I mean, that's fair. Yeah. How's it going? Decently. Decently. Sinclair gets a Barry ID one day. Yeah. That is an interesting one to bring up. I stopped myself before saying Ryo Sinclair there. What is everyone's take on that? I'm curious. I am curious to see how everybody feels about Ryo Sinclair. The agenda. You like it, but Ryoshak's Hunger is better. What's this, a Command and Conquer stream? No, I don't think we are doing a Command and Conquer stream. At least I don't think I'm playing Command and Conquer. Unless somebody's hoodwinked me and this is the wrong game entirely. You've heard Gongclair. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, narratively for their source material, it would make sense. It would make sense for them. But equally, you can also make that same argument with the fact that Dawn is, what, 100 years, well, more than 100 years old. CNC is another project man YouTuber. Ah, I see. I see. Not Command and Conquer. Okay, curiosity. Is Dawn a hag? That's a sentence I didn't know I would be reading today. I mean, I don't think she looks like a young woman. I don't think she's a hag. But, like, a hag is like a... Hold on. Like, when you say that, I think... Hold on. I need to say, like... This woman is a hag. She is a hag. She is just at most, middle-aged woman. We need to get this straight. This is a hag. She is just at most, middle-aged woman. There's a difference. There's a distinct and noticeable difference between the two. Like... Okay. Right. What are we doing here? Ah, yes, we're doing sharp nails, which we can't do against that, so we gotta do it against that. And laceration against you, and then, great, cool. I forgot to use, one of the trigrams, whoops. Saving them is probably for the best, actually. Because then that means we get endurance next turn, which is useful in case I get staggered because the game hates me. This will take a while. Yes, yes, it will. Why did the music not repeat? It is repeating, it's just not playing. Right, okay, let's change to... I can't quite remember the name of the song. Here we are. Euthanasia Roller Coaster. This is, I mean, actually, let's grab this one. Can you play Library Jam? Unfortunately, that is copyrighted, so no. Here we are. Now I will continue going, so the... Yeah, it drives me insane, especially because it's the same jokes on repeat. You know, surprisingly, the place I went to that had the most inventive jokes was r/The Odyssey is Real. Genuinely, the most inventive jokes I've seen from this fandom in like 10 years, I know I haven't been here for 10 years, was from r/The Odyssey is Real. I don't understand. Why are we bad-mouthing them? They actually sometimes have a good sense of humor. It's mental. Hold on. I need to make sure these actually clash. Like, hold on. There's one that I found really funny. That I actually saved. Yeah. Oh, the reflection is weird. But it's, Hong Lu, draw me like one of your French girls. So you're saying, well, okay, and it's potato. It's just the potato from, Fly Broken Wings. Great. It's the funniest joke I've seen out of this fandom for, like, the entire time I've been here. It's great. Pay me like one of your French girls and Yisan doesn't know how to draw in the slightest. Yeah. Why do you got that on your phone? Because I save memes I like. Oh, did we get unlucky with our draws, or... We might have gotten unlucky. The one thing that I don't get is they all seem to think Hong Lu's a girl. I don't get it. I don't get their fascination with that, but... You know, I suppose you kinda have to admire their persistence in refuting all other evidence to the contrary. So... Thank you for the donation system. I hope the content is at least somewhat entertaining. I'm gonna use this up just quickly. April Fool's 2025 proves it. I can't fault the argument there, I suppose. You're going to keep your money to buy Barotrauma. That may be a better investment, but still. I appreciate all donations. Oh, wow. Oh, we got 3... Great. We need to actually use Light Restore here. Also, that's a fun amount of stagger to have. Thank you, game. I do like having a grand total of 0 stagger. Nobody tell the game chat. Right, we get staggered here, I think. In theory? Yeah. There we are. I don't know if the depressions hardlock us here. Hopefully they don't. I think this might be too many depressions for me to actually draw anything else. Once you destroy it, yeah, we had no light otherwise. I don't think there was any way to survive that. The thing we need to get is, we need to get the not constant discard one. I'm not sure. Found this channel again after the Love Court challenge, you're all here for it? Ah, nice. I need to get back round to Eolus, honestly. I do. Bloodbath is fucking you up if you haven't realized. I have noticed. Okay, you know what I'm gonna try to do, actually, here? Let's move over to Zhao. Let's move over to Zhao. Because I think Zhao probably has the ability to get us some cool things. So let's move over to her. Because for anybody who doesn't understand how mass attacks work, on use does not count if you've killed it. If the on use is dead to a mass attack, it doesn't trigger. That's something important to know. Raging Storm Love won't actually work though against them, which is a problem. We just have to get high emotion up. That's how mass works, yep. Although a lot of people don't understand that's how it works. Okay, let's get... How do I build a Zhao build? I mean, if we're gonna constantly be... Let's try going for high cost cards again. I think. Or, I mean, I could just try... Like... What if I do this? Yeah. And then I do... Then we get Lone. Although Kazuna might be better. Not sure. And then the Halls. Valerie. And Light. Here we are. Let's see if this works. Do you actually need Raging Storm Love? It actually doesn't help us. I thought it would, but it doesn't. It's probably better for us to get Field. Don't know why my caps lock is on. Because yeah, the idea was to have it so we could delete one of the pages, because they have 3, we can't actually delete it. Clone BN Serpentine Barrier. How do we deal damage? It's not worth it to use a secret for the unique attack? No. Not at all. We're using Bootleg Shimmering. The idea is that we would be, but I don't think... We can't actually confirm that we'll get it. Also, I just realized this doesn't actually work, because we don't draw enough to make it work if we're doing the randomized costs. I'm not sure if this will work, but we'll see. Wow. What good luck. That's a reset. Progression also would fill your hand. Yeah. I think it's better to go for a high cost build again. Just a bunch of 3 costs. Which... BN is good at drawing pages, so if we have 2 BN... 2 Serpentine Barrier, because the idea is that way we can, like, deal with things properly. And then we want just, like, Emotional Turbulence. Oh, we can only get 1. Steady Defense is quite useful. I mean, if we're getting a bunch of high-cost things, we may as well. No, sharp nails. Let's see if it works. Clone build. I just realized we don't even have discard anymore, so, like, what I set up doesn't work, but still. 3 brace up, 3 clone, 3 will with 3 screw. An infinite page draw. Why is the music slowed? That's what happens in the song. I actually probably should. Euthanasia Roller Coaster is really interesting as a song, because it's at the end of Everhood. If you... Basically, the idea of the song is... At this point, you are killing the universe. So, as you... Like, I mean, I could find... Hold on, let me go for, Everhood... Final Fight... Mug. It's... If I quickly just go here, and then it would be... Universe. So the idea is that as you fight the universe... and actually start dealing damage... yeah. You end up causing everything to glitch. It's a cool game. I really should play it, to be honest. It would. I'm not sure what challenge I could do, but it's a cool game. let me see if I can get to the slowdown part. I think it's here. Or... This is the part of the song we just reached. Yeah, here. Oh, epilepsy warning. I forgot about that. So this is why the slowdown happens. Anyway. That is why the song has slowdown. Wouldn't clone just clone itself? Huh? Yeah, you can't clone brace up. It clone. Well, no, it clones whatever's in the inventory. So if you don't have brace up, then yeah. While Foss doing an MD run for grind, do you go to 415? If you've got a setup for it, yeah, go ahead. I think it's a good idea. Use clone to duplicate field mods. Great idea. The one problem I see is we don't actually have a way to delete everything. And I'm not actually sure how we light restore for stuff. So we can't use mass attack spam, really. I may not have thought this through the best. It has the critical flaw of maybe not actually working. Which, you know, it's a pretty major one. And we failed that, so we just get staggered. Walking stance doesn't allow you to become immobilized. That wouldn't stop the auto stagger. It's not a negative effect. I am curious, Mr. Boomy. Do you have any pointers for what you did here? I'm curious. Because I know there's a strat we could use that uses discards to it's a shame we can't use Tifreth. Because if we could use Tifreth, we have an infinite source of cards, really. It's just, void. Mr. Boomy, click the auto win button. So true. Use my Ongust. No, I don't think that would help here. I had to think about it for a moment. I don't think my Ongust would help. Yeah, he wants to discard an Ultimate's page, so it's really... Yeah, that is rough. That is rough. Because... Oh. Whoops. Yeah, no, I don't think my Ongust helps us here, because counters is what we rely on a lot of. Because Zhao is cool and all, but how do we actually get enough light to be able to spam her? I just can't. How much do you have for that? That's totally fair. Can we solo using Angel's Deck? No. I don't believe it's mathematically possible. Wait. Puppeteer switch stance. Yeah. No, true. You're right. How did I forget about that? Just as soon as we get some depressions, we switch. Yeah. No, you're right. But then how do we deal with the discard? Have a really guts passive. Yeah, it's not too good. We did the work for you. BN, clone, brace up, field monsters. Really? Just infinite BN. What do you achieve by doing that, out of curiosity? Just... I'd never be expected to be taken seriously? No, it's a fair idea. It is a fair idea. Because then we have... we need a proper way to do light restore, but on each of these decks we can have our own thing. Didn't suggest it because you thought of ban cheesing? No, no. We wouldn't have gotten this far if we'd banned cheesing. Achieve nothing, I'm lying to you. Yep, that checks out. Because this is our light restore here. Then blunt is the stagger damage place. But if we just have like... Because the idea is we have discards. So we want to get the discard gift. And the discard gift, yeah. YouTube doing your own solar run, so you thought talking me some going insane. Yeah, I don't think my Ongust works here, but PT is fair. PT is good. The question is, what do we have for blunt? We need a way to light restore. So if we have sturdy defense as our card draw, and then... I mean, let's have some fun. And then what else is blunt? I mean, forward march is kind of just light restore, but ideally we want 3 dice. This is good, but also, once again, it's 2 dice. I don't think we're gonna get anything with 3 dice. Okay, puppet blockades, and then what else allows us to just clash well on blunt? Actually, laceration. Laceration is still pretty good, yeah. Repurpose flesh, maybe also. If we get this, and then this has basically like no light balance. But it's fine. This also doesn't matter. Although it does cost a lot of light. Okay, let's quickly pick up some important passives. So like loan. Oh, we want bottom deal. And then the haulers. Lighter. I'll do a second deck. Mind hauler, line fixer. Lighter. Slash. Unlock. No, we don't have enough time. Not Sword of Volition. Maybe we just go for good light restore here. I mean, I could just go... No, because then we'll just be out of light when we switch back. That's not a Faustian bargain I want to take. Without Remembrance, not really enough space for it. I don't think it helps us. Because we'd have to give up on the haulers then, and I don't think I want to do that. Let's check up light. Did they beat stage 1? God, no. I wish. Really, we could just have energy conversion and leap, because the resources for that will be provided to us by defensive stance, which is where we want to go. Lord Angela doesn't die. No, she dies. She very much dies. If we do this and then just have some slash things, we can still have a golden opportunity because it's still decent, but... And then if we pull out, laceration. Maybe a study deep. Let's get a serpentine merit. And then, frankly, I can just copy this across because it's not really, like, very good. Right. Let's try this. Have light, infinite light, but no light. Incredible. I'm not sure the singleton deck is really worth it, considering we're only on them to survive for 2 turns. Hey, it's really fitting with the music. Kazuna Remnants and Haulers, we lose bottom deal, we lose... No, it's just not good. Depression. Depression lowers your maximum stagger by 34%. Which means that 3 instances of stagger, Depression auto stagger too. Why didn't Rapid Gashes work? It just wasn't going to be a good build. Also the fact... I couldn't get rid of Depressions quickly enough for it to work. No, it kills 34% of stagger. It distinctly kills 34% of stagger. Because if it only killed 33%, you'd be fine. It would be hard, but you'd be fine. Okay. Overcharge. Block stance is good because it means we have overcharge, and overcharge is really nice. But really what we're doing is we're switching back and forth between statuses. And that is the strategy. Because whenever we get a... oh, wow. That is... That's a reset. Also, yeah, it's a card, not a status. Overcharge should never have lost those. We're actually using Purple Tear as intended? Not really. We're using Purple Tear to delete cards from existence. That is what we're doing. Every time you think something's bad, there's a thing that makes it good. Yep, welcome to Ruina. It's what I like about the game. Additionally, I like the fact that the game is moderately simple. Well, the game isn't simple. Cards and statuses are simple. But the thing is, the complexity of the game comes from the way all the mechanics interact with each other. Also, I'm not going to switch over here, so I have a chance of getting out of my depression. I'm going to need to do this, because then we win against that, and then we switch. Just trust me on this, chat. Because we win all those. The game is fun to, like, Star the City. No, I like the game all the way through. Then again, I may be insane. Don't take me as the average player. Anyway, we now have 2 stuff, but... Anyway. Kinda have to do Serpentine Barrier, and I mean, clashing with Serpentine Barrier is cursed, but we don't really have another option. Just like the balance before Impuritus a lot more. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I don't like it when Ruiner mods think that the point of Ruiner is to be as complex as possible. I feel like that utterly misses the point. That is actually what I wanted, yeah. I don't think this will work, because for some reason, we're not actually drawing our overcharge. I don't know why, we're just not. There we are, there's overcharge. Don't actually think this is going to work here, because we already had a depression, and we need to switch away from it. Actually, how... Do we want this, or do we want the discard? No, we want the discard, not the cost randomizer, because we get stuck here. Here's the issue. We get stuck here. Yeah. We want the discard one. Cough cough, Library of Babel. I hate Babel. I hate Babel. I've not played it yet, but I don't like Babel. I should play it. I will play it in the future. But the problem I have with Babel is Babel makes the game Limbus Company. And I mean that with all the derogatory tones I can put into it. I don't like Limbus Company very much. I don't like the gameplay of Limbus Company. I think the story of Limbus Company is really great, but I don't like the gameplay. That's my personal take on it. 350k HP, yeah. So see, I find it interesting that everyone has a different place where they believe the fun of Babel runs out. I just find that really interesting, personally. It's not really supposed to be a deeper commentary on how the game is, I just find it interesting. I'm just coming over except for the fact that I have ADHD. Very fair. I think Limbus Company would be a lot better if there was... Wow, there's a lot of things you can do to fix Limbus Company. Babel's fun never runs out. It's called masochism. Yeah. So true. We're not getting targeted at all, which means I can switch over to, like, slashing stance here and still be perfectly fine. Them dying gives me enough light. Yeah, I don't even need to flash here. You beat Olivia because he's the last fighting bait. Oh. Ran out once, you beat Olivia because he's the last fighting bait. Oh, fair enough. This is not what we want, but I will take it and run with it anyway because I'm curious to see how far a run can go. It won't go very far, by the way. Because the entire point of the strategy is the fact that we can, you know, like, actually not immediately get staggered and then clear our hand, which we just can't do with this. Because then the idea would be, we need a way to discard here, which just doesn't exist. But still. It's a shame, because it was a good run other than that. If we'd gotten the discard, we would have been fine here, but we didn't get the discard, so we're just dead. Yeah. I don't think this even does anything. Yeah, no. Because we now have 4, which means we can never change stances. It is only... I should just reset as soon as we get that. Wouldn't urging be better? No, because it's bugged. It is... just to explain, by the way. It's bugged so that the chance to hit 0 from here, it's not 20%. It's closer to, from memory, it's like 50. It's not 20. It's insane. It is actually insane. Babel really isn't the normal game anymore. Yeah, the problem I have with Babel is that it advertises itself as Ruina but harder. It's like, in my opinion, it's like running Doom in Ultra Kill and trying to call it Doom. Isn't just trying to be the hardest? It's the way it advertises itself to the community, though. That's, yeah, my opinion. Like, it is known as the hard mod, which, regardless of if it's intending to give off that or not, that is how it's known. Babel advertises itself an overhaul, other people advertise it the hardest. I think it's the main... it's publicity, yeah. Anyway, we will use Angela later. We have to use this now because I genuinely don't think there's another way. Just, Angela doesn't deal enough damage, just flat out, so we kind of have to. Everything advertised Babel officially calls it an overhaul. I don't believe it's an overhaul, but I will check, actually. Just, oh wait, it's not on Steam, is it? Still. If you spent time in the Babel Discord, it's definitely supposed to be a hard mod. I'm assuming the argument is it's supposed to be a hard mod, but doesn't directly advertise itself as a hard mod. Which, I mean, yeah, no, fair enough. That's, yep. Why isn't Babel on Steam? And we didn't get the card again. You know what? I find it funny, we couldn't get this thing every time I wanted it to show up, and then the times where I do want it to show up, it doesn't. It really is great how that works out. Also, we kind of have to reset here. Depression lowers your stagger by 34%. Oh, directly modifies the files of the game. Oh, interesting. My problem with Babel is... it's... once again, to use another metaphor, it's like taking Paper Mario and making the damage numbers go into the hundreds of thousands. That's my problem with Babel. It's not... it's not Ruina anymore. It's not Ruina. You've made an entirely different game with the bones of Ruina. It's just not Ruina anymore. Like, look at any page. And, yeah, no. Why is there so much to keep track of? Because the devs, wittingly or not, have made a hard mod. Regardless of if they advertise themselves as a hard mod or not, they have made a hard mod. It is a... I mean, Kaizo mod might not be the correct word, but I would call it Kaizo mod. I think Kaizo mod's moderately fitting. Right. Laceration. Into, I suppose, a leap, and we just hope that works, even though it won't actually draw anything, because, yeah. Same about a lot of Skyrim or Fallout mods. I would disagree. Okay, no. I would say there are a lot of Fallout mods that no longer become Fallout. I think you're right. But I think we would disagree on what makes the games different. And you've got to be kidding me. The one where we get staggered is the good run. Please tell me I rolled a 0. Brilliant. Okay. We're in with a chance now. Okay. Because now... Fallout Frontier. Fallout Frontier can go to hell. Fallout Frontier is not Fallout anymore. It's shit. There we are. Now we go into guarding stance. 3 overcharges! Oh. Thank you. You shouldn't have. Can I even make use of that? No, not really. There's no way to have enough counters to actually deal with that. But, let's try and get as much healing as we can so we can deal with the stagger for next turn. Ah, we get staggered there, so we're probably dead. Shame. Complete overhaul? It's a complete overhaul in the fact that it makes it a new game. Which, yeah, that's a complete overhaul. It's just, it's not a good thing to do. Thank you, Divination System, for joining the channel. Oh, are there enough members in chat to spam lunacy? This is an important question. I hope so, because, yeah, otherwise I'm gonna have to do it myself, and that would be pretty sad. Do I even have access to my own emotes? I should check that, actually. I do. There we are. Look at that, I can spam lunacy too. There we are. Right, back to the usually scheduled gameplay. Laceration. Hopefully we don't get enough to get staggered here. Lovely. That staggers us, actually. I think we need to reset. Modders can be whatever the modder wants, that's okay. I think mods can be whatever the modder wants, provided they don't expect people to take them seriously. For example, Fallout Frontier. Yeah, Fallout Frontier is, certainly something that is, yep. What's my favorite project mode in Theory? I'm not sure what I would necessarily my favorite one is that Ryoshi has some relation to the Red Mist, because that's the one I'm proudest of, because I think it has the most grounds. But otherwise, my favorite, as in, what would I want to be true the most? I don't know. KGH is planning to release another game. That would be a pretty good theory. Another game that isn't Ruina, even better. I mean, another game that isn't Limbus Company. I don't want more Limbus Company. I just don't like Limbus Company. I'm fine with Limbus Company to make them money, but that's not what they're doing it for anymore. It's distinctly not just a money-making scheme anymore. Or no, it is a money-making scheme, and the problem is it's going to continue to be a money-making scheme until they run out of fans. And that's my problem with it. And we didn't get the lucky page. Are we working on 3D action? Oh, that's cool. I mean, I'm curious what a 3D action game would look like, but still. I think this strategy here, by the way, will work, but... yeah. I think Limbus was kind of fun, but then you played Ruin and realized how boring Limbus can be. Yeah. It's one of those where, for me, and I found it interesting talking to Kamui, because he gave me a different view on Ruina that I didn't have before. But a different view on Limbus that I'd never seen before. But my personal view on Limbus Company is that it's a gateway drug. Limbus Company serves the purpose of getting people into Project Moon so they can go play the other games. I wouldn't recommend it as a game in itself. But still. Imagine Cyberpunk 2077 in the city, which you usually pay $60 for. If they make Cyberpunk in the city, hell yeah, I'm paying $60. Jesus Christ, KJH, take my wallet. You know what, the only thing I would like more than, like, Cyberpunk in the city would be if they made, like, whatchamacallit? An MMO. If they made an MMO, hell yeah, take my wallet. Just take my wallet from me at this point. I don't need it. Just directly take my wallet. Also, we're staggered. Want Distortion Detective? Distortion Detective would be cool too. Distortion Detective would be very cool too. Okay, I will say, I don't think I'd want to pay $60 on... Oh, by the way, so flashbang. On any Project Moon game, purely because I don't think they're good enough at coding for me to be comfortable spending that much. But you don't think Limbus managed that Project Moon would survive an MMO? That's fair, they're not very good at balancing. Yeah. I'd like to hope they could pull it off, but, you know. Yeah. It's coming to the same appeal to me as that one Bowser's Minion side game mode from Mario and Luigi games. It sucks as a game, but I love the funny goobers fighting each other. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Leviathan was finished. It just never finished being translated. Also, wow, that was rather unlucky, though. Why are you letting Angela hit Angela? Because we want her to die. Also, we can't use her because she's not the one we control. I am curious if there's a better strategy than this, because this is getting a little bit extreme. It is basically just pray that the thing works out. Like, I kind of just have to hope here that this succeeds against all of them. Okay. And we're staggered. Any specific company you'd want to see make a game with Project Moon IP? What? Wait, were all of them targeting us? What? I've never seen that happen before. I've never seen that happen before. All of them targeted us. Really? Limbus is handicapped by its community because every time Project Moon tries to introduce complexity and difficulties... No. I disagree with you. What's happening is... red coins are bullshit. The problem is... KJH isn't introducing cool mechanics or good difficulty. It's arbitrary difficulty and red coins. I hate unbreakable coins. I don't think they're very well done in most cases, other than like the last night. Because red coins, if they're just force damage, are just bullshit. They're just... I hated Kanto 7. I hated Kanto 7's fights. I think the story of Kanto 7 was quite cool. It's a shame, because the very ending of Kanto 7 is my favorite in the entire game, but I hate red coins. I don't think red coins were implemented very well at all. I think they started moving towards... Yeah, okay, Mr. Boomy, you've hit on precisely what I think is right there. I think unbreakable coins on single use is good because it means that tanks have a purpose to actually exist. Unbreakables on AoE is no longer an interesting design decision, it's just bullshit. That's my opinion on red coins. It adds more reason to solo, which I hate soloing. No. Let me clarify. I don't hate soloing, I just don't think soloing should be easy. And I say that as the guy sitting here right now doing this. I think soloing shouldn't be easy. I think soloing should be awful. I think it should be hard. I think it should be, unless you've like specifically built into the strategy, it shouldn't be able to kill every boss 10 times easier. Which this challenge doesn't. Soloing is awful. Soloing is nowhere even near the meta strategy here, and I love it, and that's how I think it should be. Which is why it annoys me that it's such a meta strategy to do in Limbus Company. Please win. Okay, you didn't lose, which is close enough. And we're staggered. Right. Okay, Mr. Boomy, genuinely, I am curious. What did you do here? I will say, actually, I am, just whilst I wait for him to respond with at least, like, a hint towards what he used. I'm gonna bring up... I have been actually reworking Don Quixote. Stagger the turn... Smoke, okay. I have... currently what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm classifying, everything he does, and then I'm gonna move on to this. In my opinion, the most interesting thing I've heard said about Don Quixote is the idea that Don Quixote was designed to be solid. I think that's the most interesting idea I've heard, the most interesting interpretation I've heard about Don Quixote, is the idea that as a boss, he is designed to be solid. So what I think is, he should be reworked to be intended to be solid. Also, why is the formatting on this off? You're supposed to be, like, here. I think... So what I'm going to do is figure out what all his skills do, and then work in a natural way that the fight can transition from a normal full team fight into a design solo that actually rewards the player for engaging with, rather than just getting cheesed. Because because what I'm doing, by the way, just to, like, ignore my Google Docs, by the way, I've got a ton of them. Yeah. It's redesigning Limbus Company bosses to be more like Ruiners. This is a video I'm doing, but... it's... I start off by talking about the issue. This is one of the problems I have with Textbloat. You have 17.875 words per passive. Then you look at Lei Heng, and he has 53.6. 53.6 words per passive. And then, like, Ricardo is actually quite good. Ricardo is a cool boss. He does it well. Dongbaek too. I was going to include Dongbaek, but actually they're quite well written. They actually are quite good. And then you have Mayors. 48.85 or 55.375 if you count Hand of the Saint. Which I do, because without Hand of the Saint, you can't actually do the battle, really. It gets about 10 times harder if you don't do Hand of the Saint. So, yeah. I also talk about Babel. Because here's my criteria for Ruiner likes. It's must have some sort of enjoyable gimmick to it. Because my personal ethos, additions or reworks of both Ruiner and Limbus Company, is that changes should be fun, not arbitrarily difficult. Looking at you, Babel. Speaking of Babel, my second criteria is to keep the words for passive value below 20. And then the gimmick of the boss should be easy to play into, but have interesting play and counterplay. Because, just to quickly bring up, Library of Babel, Ruiner mods, cards. Just to bring up, like, come on, give me an example. Give me an example. No? Not giving me an example. Yeah, they just flashbang you. Yeah. As if any, but no.
You've just said the reason why you've seen the reason why the problem exists. Limbus Company players don't bother to read because there's like 20,000 words on the full passive screen. I can't even be bothered to read that, and I enjoy Ruiner.
So yes, that's why I believe keeping words for passive value low is a good idea, because it's not good to say, oh, people aren't driving. Let's just not build roads. No. If you've got bad infrastructure, people aren't going to be driving. It's just... the way to fix a problem isn't to just bite the bullet and say the problem will always exist. There will always be at least one big pass that the boss is based on. No. Let's take... okay, this is a bad example because Legendary is actually quite large. But, like, you can make a boss without having a super large passive. Check Meteor on the Discord. You sent a Babel card. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you very much. Here we are. Justice. This isn't even the worst I've seen. But yeah. Lovely. I love having far too much words. Or, I believe there's a purple tier. Hold on, let me go, Babel purple tier. Let me look at a Babel purple tier card. It's gonna, hold on. If I look up Babel, has image. Because... this... I've seen this one, from the, Kurikumo. You know... I do love one of my passives being far too massive. Well, let's look for some more. Here, here's a joke from me about my Mirror Dungeon run being Library of Babel. This is a thumbnail, by the way, from a fight. Yeah. Just a casual, far too much. What else is there? I mean, this is the sort of stuff you get at Lovetown already. Oh, his blessing. Yeah. Lovely, thank you. I'm not reading all that. What else is there? Oh, you sent more, lovely. Okay, let's check all these out. Melee key page, because this is all necessary. This is just Eugen, I'm assuming. This is the point where I would put, like, in the Hall of the Mountain King, if it, yeah. Yep. This isn't even all their passives. That red passive is missing. I'm assuming the red passive is probably somewhere. But yeah, this is, yep, Oh, yeah, more. Lovely. It doesn't even fit on the screen. Oh. Oh, there's Kim. Lovely. Thank you, Sword Player of the Homeland. Yeah. Lovely. Lovely. Thank you, game. I do enjoy having far too much to read. But yeah. Would Limbus be better if we had Magic the Gathering style keywords? If it could cut down on the amount of writing, maybe. But yeah, instantly jump scare with a wall of text. Yep. Okay, if we're going for staggering then, I guess we go Olivia damage build? Just stagger after the mass attack. It's an interesting strategy. Because then we want to go for smoke, so I guess not Eleanor. Eileen. Because then we can get, I mean, actually, no, if we want Sooty Thwack, hold on. That's not. Sooty Thwack, so we get Sooty Thwack Puffy Broom. And then maybe we try just Lone. I guess if we're going for pure staggering, let's just try, like, a pure offensive. There is nothing here about survivability. I mean... that works then. We out of spaces yet? Yeah, we are. Perfect. Now. That's... I spelled it right the first time. Then how do we... I mean... I guess I just do... And then we have other strong cards, like, what's a strong card? Laceration's pretty strong. Hey, you're pretty strong. Red or rainbow? Rainbow. Alright, let's grab that. And also stops players from playing Ruina when you search Ruina. Limbus players think it's hard and think it must be harder. There's no way I'm reading. I'm not doing that. Yeah, it is. It is unfortunate. Although I definitely don't think the community helps. So, I need to cut the writing down. What's that? Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, if you stick to having keywords and use the keywords continually in the place of writing a bunch of stuff, then yeah, I think it would be better. Provided the player has learned it. So. Ruina's simpler than Limbus. Yes. Ruina's passives are simpler than Limbus, but Limbus Company is less punishing, therefore it doesn't matter. If you had to actually understand Limbus Company in the same way as Ruina, it would be far harder. But you know. Will you use Angela? No. Well, not for the first one, but we will for the second. How? Sorry, did I put over breathing? Whoops. Wrong one. I meant to put Kazuna in. There we go. Wrong one. You think Lei Heng was harder than anyone in the Library of Ruina for you? Really? Wow. Limbus is simpler than Ruina and you just clashed everything without reading a word, but the reading in Ruina is definitely simpler? Yes. Absolutely. The gimmick of Red Evil Angela is depression. She makes you depressed. Not to the point where you want to kill yourself, but to the point where you just don't do anything. Okay. Molar Tremor and 200 HP. Brilliant! What a great idea. I'm sure that will be fun and, you know, interesting to engage with. Let me get some page straw so I can actually clash with that. Cheers. I'm not using Hell Smoke against you. It's on hit, so maybe I think I want to go unopposed here. Do you have any counters? You have counters that are worse than just your normal pages. Okay. Wow, that was unfortunate. I want to mention, I really hate how snowball the game is. Yeah, most of the time, the first few turns determine things. That is what sort of determines how things go. Also, really, again, I don't have anything to deal with you lot. I don't think this deck is very good, chat. I think this deck might be pretty bad. Also, there's no way to deal with that. Okay. And we're dead. What about the contingency contract library Ruina mod? It looks like Heat from Hades. Oh, interesting. Looks like Heat from Hades. That's interesting. I think we only want one in Hell. I think Lei Heng was good, other than the 6-corner. He didn't need to be nerfed into the ground, but the 6-corner was mad. It genuinely, you took the same damage if you won the clash or if you lost it. Have you ever passed this phase? No. If we'd passed this phase, we would have been fine. Did you bind him? Of course I fucking didn't. You think I could read that mountain? He's the worst explained boss in the game other than Mayers, and Mayers isn't even in the game anymore. Like, genuinely, if they'd explained the things, then maybe I would've, but no. I count the balancing of the boss and how easy the boss is to pass, too. Also, wow, that was brilliant. Lovely. Thank you. I forgot to use trigrams. Whoops. Online early saying was the most important passive being at like the bottom of the list. Yeah, it basically just didn't talk about it all. He needed the mechanic that showed you what was important. I hate hints! I hate it! It's terrible! Here's my personal take. Here's my personal take, Joe. If you are so terrible at writing passives that you need to bring out a red highlighter and highlight things, you can go fuck yourself. Just write your passives better. You have wrote your passives better. Look at these! Look at these! These are written well. They are concise. They are to the point. Oh, these guys don't have passives. They get the point across. I don't need to bring out a red highlighter to explain to you what's going on. If your boss has their important passive hidden in a mountain of text, go fuck yourself. I shouldn't need somebody to point out to me what I'm looking at rather than just having the boss. That's my take on it. Anyway, let's quickly use strength. Anyway, that wasn't meant to be directed at you, by the way. I'm not telling you to go fuck yourself. That would be weird. Needlessly hostile. There we are, we can smoke. Sometimes the IDs just feel like they could use less words. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so the idea is we just stagger after the mass attack. I probably should have some way to actually inflict smoke as well, to be honest. That seems like a good idea. More bosses written like BLU. More bosses written like Dongbaek or Ricardo. Dongbaek and Ricardo were written to the perfect amount of text, frankly. Anyways, does Sooty Thwack even work with... Yeah, no, it works on me, it doesn't work on them. The idea is to just stagger. The question is, how exactly do we do that? Oh, actually, we do deal a lot of stagger damage there, to be honest. If it wasn't for the fact that this is the turn after we're already supposed to have done things, that actually would work. Because she's... Oh. Oh. 2. Really? You just had to do that to me. I mean, we are staggered here anyway, because... Yeah. But... Wow. Another thing is the problem with complexity / difficulty other cases because they can't find a better solution. Yeah. I think also the pre-built nature of Limbus Company is also bad. But it is... A lot of it also is... They've favored making things obvious, like immediately apparent over... They've favored making things in-depth, which, by the way, the funniest part about their in-depth passives are, they're wrong. Why do I keep misspelling inhale? The funniest thing about their in-depth passives are, they all lie, basically, because they don't work how they're supposed to. So it would be better to give more vague... Not more vague, but, like, less writing, and just let people do it properly. Without having to read an entire university dissertation on something that might not even be true. Even the devs can't read the passives, yeah. There's a... It is actually... Mr. Boomy, you were the one who did the video, actually. It's a little bit... I saw that the other day. I just remembered that you were the one who did that. Because it's a brilliant video, by the way. If you haven't seen it already, it's The Many Bugs of Limbus Company. Is it you? It's... Hold on. I'm fairly certain it's you. Yeah. Unless I'm... Yeah. An increasingly here it is. An increasing... I'm gonna mute it just in case this is broken, but yeah. 229 of increasingly absurd description errors in Limbus Company. This is great. Honestly, the song really adds to it, but like if you haven't watched it already, go watch it. It's brilliant. Just so many things are wrong about it. On hit, kill them, yeah. They increasingly get worse. You are right though. Conceptually, it's an amazing video. I wish I could. I mean, I keep meaning to do things like this for other for Ruina or LobCorp, but actually like going into them. But yeah, fucking priest part kills me. Yeah, the priest part is incredible. Just in how nothing he does works. How do you discover these, by the way? Because these are, like... Yeah, no, I have no idea how you discover these. It's great having them be amended afterwards. I do really like that. Oh, yeah, this one. This one actually is brought up by, what's his name? Ezgu. Ezgu brings this up. That marked, for some reason, doubles burn count, despite never being told anywhere. It's brilliant. Ezgu gets it wrong, though, does he? That's interesting. So it's not to do with marked, or... Does it just in general, those inflict 12 burn and... That's interesting. I wish I could play the music, because the music does go really well with it, but... Curious what this comment's done. You have Sunny. Okay, hold on. This is worth risking demonetization over because they are all in time to the music, by the way. Because this is good. Anyway, I really like that. That's a really cool edit. They are all in time with the music. It's very well edited. Once again, if you haven't already, go watch it, because it's very good, and I wish I could play the thing properly here. Yeah. Yeah, I just find it funny seeing all the different things that are wrong. What does this do? To 2 random enemies. Oh, great. Oh yeah, here's the priest. All of them wrong. 40% of these have been fixed by now. Ah, that's good. That's good. Take. How do you even do that? Oh. How do you go from... Oh, hold on. I need to read this, actually. I don't think I've read this yet. Yeah, how do you even go from deal bonus damage to take? Okay, never mind. No reading that. But yeah, still, great video. Back to Notes to the Grindstone stuff. Whoever made that forgot that SP loss sufficient does not make someone's inflicted loss better, but instead makes their received loss better. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a joke exaggeration, right? About the priest making his hours of sleep. Fair. How's that song copyrighted? Whoever... The problem is, it depends on who recorded it. It's not worth taking the risk, really, because there's a chance somebody who didn't give permission for it to be used recorded it, at which point I can get struck over it. It's an annoying thing with all classical music, really. Classical music itself is a massive risk to play on streams. It's why I don't play it anymore. Because I love In the Hall of Anthony, and the Hall of Anthony is great, but it depends on who's recorded it. Oh, your video isn't demonetized personally. Oh, that's good. That's good. I do realize now I probably could have just asked you. That would have been simpler, but yeah. Okay, laceration, and then we go for an inhale smoke. We have a few extra turns here because we got the discard here. Right. Same turn binds is such a stupid thing to exist, yeah. It really is. Well, we're fucked here. I think. I don't think there's any way we're not. That just... Okay, you, I suppose. Cool. And then Will of the City against you. There's no way we don't get... We might just die here, frankly. Yeah, we just get flat out staggered rather than 4 staggered. I just realized we have 7 strength. Do we need that much? No. Okay, let's replace Kazuna then. Because Kazuna adds nothing to the build, really, and only takes away. We could instead get... what's a 2 cost? What's a good 2 cost? One of the haulers? Like, I don't know. Mind hauler? And then we replace... Oh. Okay, let's... I'm gonna give it one more try. What I think I'm gonna replace, is... Let's look up, smoke. We've made a lot of progress this stream, aka nothing at all. Let's go for... Tracer Fumes rather than... Oh no, actually, hold on, is there one that draws cards? Like... Smoke Prick is pretty good, like to the point where I might replace that with that. Let's give one more go. Oh wait, hold on. Who are you? Huh. I should probably use this. Like, that. That might be a good idea. Same turn bind for Lei-Hang. That might be the most niche use for it. Wonder how the Deviate will deliver my associated mid. Will they just go to light or what? I don't know. I don't know how the Deviate works, frankly. Anyway. There are a lot of songs that just, yeah. You can't really play as a streamer because it's risky as all hell. It's about impossible. This isn't impossible. Once again, Mr. Boomy has done it. It's very much possible. He still stands as the paragon for what I actually consider possible in this challenge, and this one is possible. It's not as possible with Angela, but it is possible. Are we just dead? Is this just a bad run? Potentially. I forgot to use the other things. And then we're staggered. Okay, that's enough for today. That is enough for today. I have to go do other things, such as eat food and talk to people, sadly. If you want to, please do consider joining the Discord. The link is in the pinned comments. If you are a member, by the way, I just need to tell people this because I genuinely don't know if people know this. If you link your YouTube account to your Discord account, you actually get a special role in the Discord that allows you to see channels. I need to tell people that because I don't think people realize that normally. But yeah, with that said, bye-bye. I'll see you all probably tomorrow, to be honest. You know.